Hello, 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 hello. I don't know if you can hear me, but hello. Oh, let me just turn that down. There we go. Sorry about that. I was listening to something and I forgot to turn it down when I came on. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? This is Mindset Monday. It is Monday, and we're already in the second week of January. My name is Linda. If you don't know me, I am a Back in the Groove Again coach. I'm a life coach and I am a career coach, and I help mostly people in midlife to discover or rediscover their groove again. So, hello, thanks for joining me. Today, I want to talk about the goals that we set during New Year's. Now, whoever's watching me, did you set some goals for New Year's? I'm wondering if you set some New Year's goals. Some we used to call them resolutions. Did you set any resolutions or goals or intentions for this year? Most of us do, right? Usually, um, either at the beginning of January or at the end of December, we start thinking of what we want to accomplish during the upcoming year. So I want to talk a little bit about that today. I mostly want to share some tips around that. So I did share in another live that ideally we are setting intentions or goals in different areas of our life. Right? We've got finance, we might have career, we might have social, perhaps we have relationships, health, and so on. There are different areas of our lives, and we can set some intentions in each of those areas of our life. Now, those areas might be very important to you, but there might be one of those areas that is really more important to you. So you would want to put more focus on that particular area. So one of the things that I'm going to suggest is that you set time aside. And I'm going to start with setting time aside once a month. And that could be at the beginning of the month or at the end of the month to plan the next month. So again, you've got your intentions in mind, you got your goals in mind, and you might even write down your goals or the areas you want to focus on a piece of paper. And write down a list of things that by the end of the month you want to have accomplished. So, for example, oops, and I notice I'm frozen here. There you go. So, for example, if you want to start walking more, like I want to start walking more, and I might want to walk, every 3 or 4 days, or I should say, 3 or 4 times a week, not every 3 or 4 days. That's a little bit different. So that means that by the end of the month, I would have walked many times during that month. So you want to, plan ahead. Okay, I want to walk this month. This month, I want to work on my business. And of course, working on your business isn't very specific, and walking isn't very specific. So you might need to really, look at either a SMART goal or to get more specific, like I want to at least walk once, 3 times a week for at least an hour. So that at the end of the month, that means I want to walk 3, 4 times a week for at least an hour, right? So you write some goals by the end of the month. This is what I want to do. And then once you have your list of what you want to do by the end of the month, good morning, Superior 7. How are you? Nice for you to join me. So once you have your goals of what you want to accomplish by the end of the month, then you want to bring those goals down to a weekly schedule and also a daily schedule. So if I want to walk, during the month, now per week, that would mean I want to walk 3 or 4 times every week. So I would have a weekly schedule. And of course, I would have a daily schedule. Now, if I want to walk 3 or 4 times a week, it means there are certain days that I'm not going to walk, and there are other days that I will walk. But you first start off with your goals of the month, and then you bring that back down to a weekly goal, a weekly schedule, as well as a daily schedule. And they all should be, the activities that you do should all line up with what you want to accomplish during, during that month. And, some folks even say, well, this year, this is what I want to do. And so, of course, you would have some general goals for the year, and you would have more specific goals for the month, and even more specific for the week and for the days as well. Now, I suggest to sit down once a month, either at the end of the month or at the beginning of the month. I'm just reading here. I think the mindset you suggested last Monday is perfect. My goal is to simply avoid the shortcomings of last year. Yeah, so to avoid them now, of course, I don't know what your shortcomings are. Um, So instead of saying avoid shortcomings, what is it that you want? Focus on what you want. And generally, when we focus more on what we want, it does seem to avoid or eliminate all the other things that we don't want. So focusing on what we want. We might want more spirituality. We might want to be more physically fit. We might want more money, for example. We might want more viewers on our YouTube channel, for example. So sitting down, at least that at the end of the month and at the beginning of the month to think of, okay, what do I want this month? And then bringing that down to weekly goals and daily goals. Okay, so you want more of what? If your shortcoming is that you panic, you want more of clarity, maybe more of being calm, right? That's what you want to focus on, is on being calm, perhaps, is on preparing yourself ahead of time so that you don't panic. So the wanting to eliminate panic means that you might want something else. And when you think of what I want, well, I want to be more calm. Okay, if I want to be more calm, what might I need to do? I might need to prepare ahead of time. I might need to maybe get more information. Again, it depends on what you're panicking for, right? Now, I mentioned that you want to plan for the month, at the end of the month or at the beginning of the month. You also want to take some time to review your last month's goals, because from month to month, we may change our priorities or maybe not. So if this month I wanted to focus on getting more exercise, then when I come to the end of January, the beginning of February, when I'm planning February, I might want to review what I wrote down in January and go, is this still important to me? Do I still want to walk 3 or 4 times a week? Do I still want to increase my viewers, for example, on YouTube, for example? Right? You want to review your last month's goals and see if this is still important to you. And if it is, then obviously you're going to put that out for the next month. That is still going to be your priority. And you might want to add, um, you might need to add a goal or remove a goal, because maybe, for example, maybe walking 3 or 4 times a week wasn't successful. Maybe I wasn't successful at walking 3 or 4 times a week. So I might need to change that to at least twice a week, perhaps, so that I can be successful. And at the very least, attempt to walk twice a week. If you know what I mean, I hope you understand what I mean. So that reviewing of the goals, whether or not you were able to accomplish those goals, is one thing, and also to review whether or not they're still important to you. And if they are, and if the 3 or 4 times a week was fine, and I'm just using that as an example, Superior 7, then you're going to want to continue in that. But if when you're reviewing last month's goals, you go, well, that didn't work for me, then you need to ask yourself, what would then work for me? Maybe it's cutting back a bit or adding a bit more so that you can start feeling successful. So you want to review. The other thing that's really important too is to be consistent and to have a sort of routine where you can discipline yourself to follow that routine every day. And when you follow that routine every day, you become more consistent. And when you're more consistent, well, you're more apt to continue that over time and to be successful. Now, I want to share a mug that I received recently as a gift. The reason I'm sharing it is because it has a really interesting message. I'm just going to share it with you. Oops. It says, she believed she could, so she did. So we're going to change that now to he believed he could, so he did. Or they believed they could, so they did. In other words, it starts with the belief, right? It starts with the belief that knowing that I can do this. That's right. Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to put this down. Success with full perfection with the help of reviewing yourself. Yeah, you've got it, right? And so that way, every month when you review what you've done and you kind of perfect it, or you might have to change it a little bit, you continue doing that. And every month you review, and every month you plan the next month. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you. Very good. I'm glad you did. So that's basically what I wanted to talk about today during Mindset Monday. Thank you for being here. You know, it's the start of a new year, and a lot of people who have set goals in the new year often will kind of let their goals slide by the time February or March comes around because life gets in the way. But if you adopt this model of, writing your goals down every month and then bringing it down to weekly, if you that habit of doing that will increase your chances of success. So thanks again for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. See you next Monday for sure. Sorry about that. See you next Monday for Mindset Monday. Bye. Thanks for watching.